terrible things can happen. Like, imagine if our particle accelerator actually does accidentally create a black hole and just whoop, like inverses the whole Earth into it, and we're just gone, right? Imagine if we F up like to that extent. Jarvis Mate Podcast or Jarvis Mate Podcast. Why am I whispering? Because it's the best kept secret. You know why? It's like a reality show of a real guy at work doing real things, right? While he's just speaking to you. So if you like these kinds of shows, you should like and subscribe and share, because it helps to keep freedom of speech free, right? It's unscripted, it's unpolitical, and we are not bending, contorting, or making kind for anybody's feelings. Just like that burp, it's real fucking shit. Now I would like to excuse myself for a second, because I'm drinking coffee and I'm enjoying some chocolate hobnob, right? So if there's any crumbs coming out of my mouth, right, deal with it, right? If I was actually your driver's mate in your passenger seat, right, you'd have to deal with it, right? So just enjoy it, right? Because it's real. Like, who cares anyway? I'm giving you all this nonsense, but just giving you real-time backstory to what's actually happening around me, right? You wouldn't want to hear the whole commentary, right? Because just imagine my inner dialogue. Anyways, at CNC CMI is my main channel, and you can find me on all the other social medias in the world. I know you don't really care anyway, you probably just skip past that. But now here we are. Bam!
This two-dimensional creature has locked some precious gems away in a safe. She's checked the safe from every angle and is sure that no one will be able to break in without a key. But she hasn't taken into account the idea that a three-dimensional creature, such as myself, might be peering in from above. She doesn't even know the concept of above.
So we got 2D,
I could steal these gems
3D.
without a key and without damaging the safe, and she would have no idea how they were taken. We should keep an eye out for ourselves. A four-dimensional creature could steal from our safes without a key.
That's when it gets complicated.
Could take the yolk from an egg without breaking the shell, appear in a closed room, or see inside of our brains. The fourth dimension is perpendicular to all of our normal 3D space directions, and we have no walls up against that direction. This two-dimensional creature has locked some...
Right. Off the bat, I'm not a scientist, right? And I know very little, and the very little I do know, I'm struggling to recall and even... Can I say collate? You tell me what the right word is, right? To I think it's collate all of my thoughts and information about this topic, right? Because I've read about it a little bit, but like I said, I don't really have a full understanding of it. When I did read about it, it was very surface level, like, ooh, Tesseract, let's look into this. What's this kind of weird shape, right? That was what it was, right? And from a surface point of view, it's really cool, but I can't give you the actual examples that were given to me, right? Because when I explain it back to you, it's not going to sound how it sounded when it was explained to me, right? And as you can see, the degradation of my brain is happening in real time every day, right? So you get it, right? We're getting old, we're getting on, right? And early in the morning, information goes through one ear and out the other, and all you would get from my mouth is nonsense, and occasionally some good information and one or two gems, right? But hey, this is season 3, you know what to expect. But to be honest, behind the scenes, I'm working on myself. I'm trying to get better, I'm trying to learn, I'm trying to speak better, I'm trying to collate my opinions. I don't think that's the right word, you know, right? But I'm trying to get my stuff in order, right? But I'm never going to make it scripted. I just want to always make it real, raw and authentic. But I just want to be a better person. So I'm working on it, right? So by the time we get to the end of season 3 or season 4, I should be much better at this. If you stick around, you get to see me grow as a person. I get to see you grow as a person. You tell me, feedback to me, and bro, you're bad at this, you're good at that. Yeah, whatever, right? Whatever you feel like you're inclined to do. If you want to troll me, I respect it, right? Because sometimes a good trolling, it gets me happy, right? It makes me enjoy myself just as much, right? Because I don't take myself that seriously. But anyway, back to the main topic. What she was explaining, which I couldn't see properly, and obviously you cannot see, right, is that a two-dimensional creature, right? Let's just use an ant for example, although that's a bad example, right? It's got its little existence on the ground floor, right? Because you know ants can walk up walls, right? Obviously, you know that. But anyway, let's just imagine an ant cannot walk up the wall, right? It just exists on the floor, right? That's 2D, what she gave an example of. But then we are 3D, right? So we can exist above the ant, we can exist at the same level as the ant and all around the ant, right? So then when she's scaling up to the 4th dimension now, we are now the ant in a 3D space. We can look all around on the ground and all that, right? But we can never really look outside of ourselves. You know, like when you see a 360 camera and you're like, how is that working? Why does the world look so small, kind of thing? Kind of like that. But obviously the 4th dimension is not like that. That's why, if you want to know about this, pause this video and actually Google it for yourself, right? Or go on YouTube rabbit hole it if you actually care. If you don't, listen to my nonsensical explanation of what I think it is, right? And I don't actually know it, right? But that aside, her premise was this: in the 4th dimension, right? And we can say it exists, right? Because it's been theorized so precisely that it's likely to exist, right? But anyway, she's saying if a creature or a being exists in the 4th dimension, it can interact with our 3-dimensional world in a way that we would find hard to perceive, right? Like she said, it can appear in a closed room, it can take the yolk out of the egg, which is wild to me, right? Because I'm not quite sure the thinking of that or how that's working. But why would it make sense, right? Just like to the ant, why would it make sense that you could access his house from above it and come around it and all kinds of stuff? It wouldn't make sense, right? It would just be like some crazy giant creature that does whatever it wants, some omnipresent god, right? But hey, we've watched enough cartoons in life and read enough books and seen enough films to know, right, if there is a god, chances are he's going to be able to do almost anything. So why wouldn't he exist in a 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, going up and up and up and up and up, right? And there's a whole I'm about to call them side questers. And there's a whole subcategory of people that believe in, like, so you have your body, your physical body, then you have your mind, your consciousness, and you have your spirit, and they believe it keeps going up and up and up, your spirit, your soul, and then on and on and on, and they look at it through a dimensional point of view as well, right? But their point of view is more like Kabbalistic / Dante's Inferno, right? So you got the layers of hell, and they're looking at it very much so progressively like that, right? But in science, a 4th dimension doesn't have to exist progressively, right? It's outside of linear because it's the 4th, right? We just like how we went from Atari games, which is just basically a couple pixels moving left to right, right, to PlayStation games, which is a few more pixels, then to Nintendo 64 is a few more pixels, PlayStation 2 a few more pixels, and polygons and technology, right? It's the same kind of thinking. So just imagine we exist right now in PlayStation 2 land, right? Which is ridiculous, right? Because maybe we're more like Nintendo SNES land at this time in history, right? And the 4th dimension is PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 level graphics and existence and interaction, Unreal Engine stuff, right? Let's just look at it like that. So in that sense, yes, I can believe what she's saying. If a creature exists in the 4th dimension, it should be able to do things that are almost impossible for us to conceive in the 3rd, right? Why not? You let me know what you think. Is that realistic to you, or is it too woo-woo? Have you even heard about the 4th dimension, right? And not from a film perspective, from an actual scientific point of view, explaining this is what it is, right? This is a tesseract. I can't even remember, like I said, I can't remember all the information because it's so in the back of my mind of things that I think about on a day-to-day that it's just not there for me, right? But after this video, I'm probably going to go watch up and research on it a little bit more, so the information is more fortified to me, right? But yeah, I'm inclined to believe that it exists, right? And it's not just a point of view of having to believe, right? I can say, if I had to put a percentage on it, I know 90% that does exist, right? If I had to put a percentage on it, right? Because it's not a matter of belief, it's a matter of theories and proof, right? Which I have neither. I'm just depending on scientists and interesting science communicators, right? That's what I'm dependent on. And potentially you're dependent on a guy that's neither a scientist or a scientist communicator to put you onto a test ramp and the fourth dimension. So, man, you get what you expect, you know what I mean? You get what you pay for. No, not to take away anything from myself, of course, right? Because I do consider what I do here quite entertaining and sometimes edutaining. But I'm just being flat out honest here. I don't fully understand it, but I can understand it from the point of view of there's 1D, there's 2D, there's 3D, so logically there's probably 4D, right? That's how I'm looking at it, right? Which is obviously quite a stupid, simpleton point of view. But like I said, I can't explain it the way it's been explained to me, right? But yeah, if it does exist, then let's just say that the fourth dimension, it has the potential for all these ethereal things that we've been fantasizing about for yonks to exist, right? Your ghosts, your spirits, your phantoms, your energy sources, whatever it is you believe or think about or theorize, that doesn't potentially take standardized algorithmic thought. You know, like a road is a road, a human is a human, a tree is a tree, right? Anything that you think about outside of that current existing platform, it is possibly potentially, or it has potential to exist in the fourth dimension. Let's just leave it there, right? Yeah, because what the fuck do I know about fourth dimension, right? What the fuck do you know? And if you do know, right, please educate me, right? Send me a link in the comments, right, to a video, to a person that can explain it way more short, quick and concise to me, right? And then maybe I'll circle back around at some point in time with a reference point, with a new found sense of understanding of the fourth dimension, right? Because like I said, I've heard about it before, very briefly, in science communication podcasts and just little snippets on YouTube and stuff like that. But I don't really understand it, right? Just like I don't fully understand biology, right? Just like I don't fully understand chemistry. I don't understand it. I get the point of it though, right? I see its applications, so I can imagine. Now, springing off into science fiction world again, right? If we can access, like, imagine if you ever watched a show called Stargate, right? Back in the day, right? Back in the 90s, and quick like side note of that, the black guy in Stargate with the little gold thing, like the like Egyptian guy, right? He is the voice of Kratos in God of War, right? Anyway, that's a side note. Something you may have learned, right? Wow, I managed to teach you something today. Fucking hell, right? You useless piece of information, but you know it now. But anyway, now just imagine like how the portals in Stargate worked. Imagine we create technology like that to access the fourth dimension from that perspective, right? Will we then have access to time? Will we have access to alternate realities? Or would we be able to see what is theorized to be the multiverse, right? All of these planes of existence existing in the same space and time on Earth, but just layered on top of each other, right? Just like if you believe in ghosts, I would say to you that's nonsense, but at the same time, if there are ghosts, then any city, any town, any village is ram-packed dense of dead people walking around, right? Every room you exist in, someone dead is walking through that room at the exact same time you are, right? If you believe in it. But if the fourth dimension is real, not only would ghosts exist in there, whatever other ethereal creatures may exist in that same stacked dimension. So instead of looking at it so scientifically, like how she explained it, if we just look at it like when you see an eclipse, right, and you see the moon go in front of the sun. Now just imagine there's 4 more planets, right? So you're looking at so from the side you'll be looking at 4 discs. From the front you'll be looking at 4 cylindric kind of shapes, right? If that's the right word, because they're not spheric. We're looking at it as a 2D platform, right? But just imagine it like that. And if you take it to spheric idea by envisioning it, it would kind of be the same. But just imagine those 4 discs are all the same planet, but just 4 different layers of existence, right? So we'll just break it down to elements. So we'll just say element 1 is earth, element 2 is air, element 3 is water, element 4 is fire, right? Just for a basic simple way of looking at it. But if that exists in real time on the planet that we actually exist on, then we could just simply say that would be the easiest way to think about looking at the fourth dimension. Now, we create something like a particle accelerator that booms and not only creates a black hole, creates some other potentialities, then maybe we would get access to this fourth dimension, right? But what do we know? What do I know is the truth of the matter? Because someone somewhere knows a whole lot, right? Obviously. But I don't. I'm just giving you an imaginative, interesting point of view off the back of it, right? Now, if, for instance, we could repurpose black hole technology for teleportation, then we could repurpose teleportation for time travel, and on and on and on, right? But the black hole thing existing in space may also be a key to the fourth dimension, because we've not experienced a black hole. We could exist in a black hole, but we've theorized it, right? To the disappearing of gravity and all kinds of nonsense, right? I don't actually understand. I'm just giving you surface level bullshit, right? Theory beyond theoretical, right? Just nonsense I'm giving you, but from a still kind of grounded in reality perspective to an extent. Like I said, about maybe 30%, and at this point maybe about 5%, right? But if you're still here watching, right, I salute to you, because you're literally watching the degradation of a madman, right, degrading into some crazy fanatic. You're literally watching it in real time when I'm trolling anyway. But yeah, but anyway, if we could just look at it as 4 planes of existence stacked up on top of each other, then we could just look at it like multiverses, right? The fourth dimension is a multiverse, and like DC Comics with Flash vibrates, shakes, breaks the time barrier, therefore breaking that wall between this dimension and the next dimension, and then all kinds of weird, fantastical things could potentially happen, or terrible things could happen. Like, imagine if our particle accelerator actually does accidentally create a black hole and just whoop, like inverses the whole Earth into it, and we're just gone, right? Imagine if we F up like to that extent. I really doubt that'll happen, but it's a potentiality. But who cares? We all got to go anyway. So if we all went at the same time in a black hole, I guess we couldn't moan about that, you know? Hey, shit happens. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. I think I've said enough nonsense for a day, right? For a lifetime even. But I think the fourth dimension does exist. It doesn't have to exist in that cartoon point of view. It doesn't have to exist in that film point of view. But it can actually exist in a scientific, mathematical point of view, where someone could draw you a real time grid, a graph, and show you how this would actually work for real, right? It's out there, it's theorized down to the last detail. So yeah, go check it out, find out what a tesseract is, right? It's pretty cool. A strange shape that you can actually buy a model of one. You can't actually buy a tesseract, right? But you can buy a model of one. Anyway, Travis Mate podcast, right? Travis Mate podcast. Check out the other videos in the playlist, right? Because I don't do this nonsense in all my podcasts. Why the hell would I, right? It just wouldn't make sense to exist in this fanciful foolishness, right? It just wouldn't, right? Some are very serious topics I'm actually educated and have formulated opinions about. Others I'm actually informing you on something that you may not be aware of, socially, historically, scientifically in some instances, socially. Did I say socially already? I meant philosophically. Or did I say philosophically already? I meant socially. The difference is here. Anyway, check out the other videos in the playlist. Check out season 2's really good videos over there. Season 1 is more of soliloquies and just things I was thinking about. I'm just telling you directly, right? And I'm not reacting to anything at all, right? I'm not giving commentary on anything other than what I thought about that day, and I'm just telling you, right? Season 1 is real fourth wall stuff. Season 2 is more reactionary stuff, but formulated opinions and information that will get you to where you're going. And season 3 is more entertainment, right? And eventually in season 3 I might actually teach you something, God willing, right? And I'm not even religiously inclined to say God willing, but it sounds cool, doesn't it, right? So yeah, universe willing, if you're that way inclined too, right? I know I can't shake that childhood programming, damn you. Right, I can't, right? Even with all the information, even with all the debunking in the world, right? When bad stuff happens, you still revert to your childhood programming. Oh no, God help me, right? It's in films, in TVs, and everything, right? So it just happens. Even with your most rational, logical thinking, maybe this isn't real. And then something bad happens, please God, right? Yeah, you get it, right? We all do it. So anyway. Tangent on tangent on tangent on tangent on tangent. But I hope I've entertained you today, right? Didn't chuff your ear too much. Hopefully you got a good laugh, right? You're like, this guy's a fucking idiot, right? What does he know about the fourth dimension, right? And if you are, for some reason, an actual scientist and you watch my show, man, I'm proud of you, bro. Fucking hell, bro. Scientists, I really love you guys. Technicians, inventors, anybody that thinks and creates and does interesting things in life, I'm really proud of you guys, right? You make humanity worth its weight, right? You are the people carrying the rest of us, right? Some of us can do political stuff, some of us can do creative art stuff, some of us can do social science stuff, but the actual inventors and the thinkers and mathematicians and the people that find out why and how, you guys are carrying humanity on your back, and we salute you. I salute you, right? So if for some reason you're interested in science and you have the inclination to study it, please let this entertaining, nonsensical guy that knows nothing, push you, propel you a little bit more into going into what it is you're passionate about, right? Don't let nobody or nothing stop you, because it goes from a kid just imagining what could possibly be out there, to an inventor, to Nikola Tesla stuff, to Einstein stuff, to Elon Musk stuff, to all kinds of incredible world-changing things that you, the viewer, could potentially do, right? So don't doubt yourself. It sounds ridiculous, it sounds fanciful, but if a man is able to keep hold of his imagination, then he can become a great scientist, right? So remember that. Anyway, spiel, huh? Anyway, Jarvis Make Podcast. Check out the other videos. Check out my main channel at CNCCMI. Get the seasons in real time if you care. If you want to binge, if you want to go through and pick out the things where I say the most craziest things and put together a compilation of cancellation for the court of public opinion, Patreon is where you should do it, right? It's all there, right? So thank you for your time. I appreciate you, man. Hope you have a good day. I hope you enjoy yourself, and I hope you're getting the work done, right? Don't let nothing stop you, and keep your imagination alive. See you later.